What's going on, YouTube? How's all the beautiful people? Well, we're back on the Suzuki, and I finally got the master cylinder brake lever apparatus. So let's dig in, replace it, and see if we can get these brakes working. Once we get the front ones working, we will move to the back and see if we can get them working. But as long as we can get the fronts, he'll be happy. If the backs are going to require a lot of parts, then we won't mess with them, but we'll get the fronts going. Because right now it goes great, but you can't stop. So, that was behind all the crap. Try not to knock you guys off. There we go. Maybe. Kinda. Alright, before we get too carried away here, we'll go ahead and knock that banjo bolt loose. Maybe a 12. Oh yeah. Now, I'm not sure what kind of fluid we have, so it may make a mess. That's alright, so we'll get a rag. We'll get a rag. I'm guessing there ain't much in it because they don't work. Dang. Well, that ain't working out for me, is it? Not at all. Shit. Let me get in a socket. Well, my neighbor's making noise again. That's exciting. Yeah. He'll be gone in a minute. Pardon the noise. Alright, we got her loose. I don't see any fluid coming out as of yet. We do have new banjo bolt. Yeah, I'd say that's... Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. I don't know if you guys are aware, but brake fluid is really hard on paint. So we'll go ahead and just use this rag and catch what we can of this. And since I have a new banjo bolt, we may just shove this one back in the hole. Ain't gonna do much good, but nothing else will slow her down, huh? Okay. We may still get a little drip here, a little drip there, but it's gonna be alright. Got the American Eagle, huh? Look at that. Yeah. Old underwear. There's one. I save all this hardware because you never know when you're working on quads, and a lot of the hardware is kind of cross compatible. Now that does have a brake light switch on it, so we'll I'll let it sit out there and kind of pee a little bit, and then we'll get this new one installed. Hopefully, because I ordered it for this machine, hopefully it's got the switch. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it or not, but you can pause and zoom and do whatever it is you got to do. Just off Amazon. When I buy things off Amazon, I always look at the reviews, and you can kind of pick through the reviews and you can decide. Yes, we do have the switch. You can kind of decide which reviews are bogus, which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones to. Because a lot of times, it's people. It's a lot of times it's user error, if you will. People get on there and they give something a bad review whenever it really had nothing to do with the machine or the part. It had to do with the person doing the repair, right? So that's kind of what I pay attention to, is whether or not it was the part or the user. Now, these are labeled. Make sure you get the direction right on this. Not 100% sure why that really matters, but it does. Now, when you position these on here, you want to position them in such a way, you're never going to get it perfect, but you want to position them in such a way that this is fairly level, right? Because you don't want to suck air into your brake system. They don't work right when you get it. They won't work at all. You get air in them. But we're going to get the bolt started like so. And then I'm going to run this one in just a touch so I don't have to wrench it quite as far. Then we'll pull this up where we want it. And it looks, we got a spot for what I believe to be a mirror. So I'm going to move that in so that it'll clear the best I can. Kind of like that. We can always fine tune it later, but right now it's just a matter of getting it installed and getting the brakes to function, right? Tighten this one up just a hair. Okay. Now, the new banjo bolt is right here. It's got a new bolt and new washers. We'll free that up. Now, these have little seals on them, but sometimes banjo bolts just have little copper washers to seal. I'm not sure which is better, but this is what it came with, and that's what it had on it. So we'll use the same thing. It's the same on both sides, so it doesn't matter. Now this has an anti-rotational leg on it, if you will, so make sure you get it on the bottom side of the reservoir kind of clear. And we're just going to snug this up. We're not going to get super carried away with it. We're just going to snug it up. We can always go a little bit more if it leaks, right? Let me get some of this old hardware out of the way. And let's see what we got. What else we got? We got extra bolts, another banjo bolt with washers. We have another backing plate, or clamp. I'm not sure. See what this is, huh? This kit wasn't a whole lot of money either. It was, boy, look at there. You reckon maybe they got a problem with their switches? Damn, they sent 2 extra switches. Maybe just different models, huh? That one's got writing on it, says down. Oh, but dang. I guess just different makes and models. Hopefully the one that's on there will do what we need it to do. Put them back. But that's neat. Wasn't terribly expensive and very universal apparently. So now we made it this far. Let me grab a screwdriver and we'll open this thing up real quick. Now I don't expect it to be a problem on this one, but a lot of times when you're working with these, be careful. This is aluminum, and you get corrosion in here, and these things, it's just a Phillips. I wish they'd come up with something better, but on a new one, not an issue, but you go to trying to get into an old one, a lot of times these will round off on you. You're better off just to start off with an impact driver. And I'm not talking about the battery powered kind, I'm talking about the actual impact. I'll show you real quick, just so you know. There are many makes and models of these, just like anything else. Right here, the impact driver. The way this thing works, this one happens to be brand new, never used, but well, maybe it has been, I don't know. But you put your bits in it, and whenever you get it set up correctly and you're pushing down on it, when you hit it with a hammer, it turns. So at the same time you're impacting down, it will turn, and that will help break free stuck fasteners. You get both the impact and the turning force, so very handy tool on stuff like that. I'd suggest adding one to your arsenal if you don't already have one. And they can be used with the bits that come with them. They can be used with 3/8 drive sockets. They can be used with a lot of stuff. Very universal. Now you'll have your little baffles. And we want to make sure we get all this back together the correct way. The way I like to do that is the writing is always legible to the driver, and just leave it all together just like so. Lay her down, leave it alone. Now what we're gonna do is go ahead and pour some brake fluid in here. I thought I had some over here. I do. Now I try to use .4 on everything. This lid I do believe says .3. Yeah. But if you use .4, it's backwards compatible. It'll work all the way down to 4 will work in 3, but you cannot use 3 and 4. So it's just what I do. Now they make some fancy brake bleeding kits and all of that crap, but and when you buy yourself on a car or something, those are super handy, but we're not by ourselves and this ain't a car. I mean, we are by ourselves, but this ain't a car. So, let me get stuff situated and I'll show you the process that I go through on bleeding brakes. Alright, I'm going to show you here. Let me zoom in. Right there is the bleed screw, okay? Now what we're going to do is I'm going to open the bleed screw, squeeze the brake lever, and then tighten the bleed screw so we don't suck any air back in it, right? The object here, now being gravity is so helpful sometimes, when you open that bleed screw a lot of times, fluid will start coming out. It'll start pushing air out and you'll start getting fluid. Now that's fine, but I like to pump. It's just a little faster. And while doing so, you have to make sure that the reservoir on the master cylinder does not go dry. You have to keep fluid in it. Why it's so problematic with little ATVs and such is they do not hold a lot anyway. So on a car, not so much an issue because they hold quite a bit of fluid. but still an issue. So on here, and it's not going to be super easy for me to show you. Let me back out. You're just going to get a glimpse of it, and I'll leave you focused on the wheel, and hopefully you'll be able to see the fluid coming out. Now there is a little rubber plug over it, so I'll pull that plug off. I'm going to try to get you as good a view as I can, but you know, we'll do what we can. It's not going to be easy. So put yourself in a situation where you can operate the lever at the same time that you're using your wrench, right? And we know we're going to get fluid coming out. You can put a hose over that if you'd like. I'm just shoving a rag down here to catch the fluid. So let's get our direction right and make sure that this thing moves. And there's never a ton of room, which you can do without. I've already turned the wheel about as far as I can without fluid coming out of the reservoir. So get your wrench on it. Make sure that we can break it. Yes, we can. Okay. So we know that way is closed. I'm gonna pull it this way to loosen it. I'm gonna hit the brake. Now I'm gonna close it. Now I can't see anything. And I done slipped off. Remember that the key is we don't want to let air back in the system, right? So once you get it tight, you release the brake lever, check your fluid. We're still good. I'm not sure how much I got out on that one. I couldn't see. Tell you what I'm going to go ahead and do now, because I don't have to switch it. So we're tight. Trying to decide which is the, let's do it that way. So open, squeeze, close. All right, then release the brake lever. We're still good on fluid. I can see we've been squirting some out because it's dripping. So we'll do it again. Oops, I'll get on the right way. Now open, squeeze, close. Release the brake handle. Let's do it one more time, and then we'll go to the other side. So open, squeeze, close, and release. All right, we'll leave that rag right there to catch any baloney. Now this side would be a little easier for you to see because the tire is off. So right here, some bleed screw. And they make little devices that'll go on here. It actually pulls the vacuum right here, so it'll pull the fluid, pull the air out. And it's nice. I'm certain that it's nice, and I'll get one eventually. What you want to do is check the fluid level. We're good for a few pumps. So open. See if we can. Yep. See it. We got fluid coming out now. Uh-oh. Let me get it ready. Pump. Close. Release. We still got fluid, so open, pump, close, release. Do one more time, and I'm going to add some fluid. So open, pump, close, release. All right, let me add a little fluid. Clean this up. I don't want it to eat the paint. All right. Just a second. Let me add some fluid. few more times. Ideally, we'll just get a solid stream when I pump it. We won't get any air. Open, pump, close. She's still pissing a little air, so release the lever. Open, pump, close. Release. Open, pump, close, release. Open, pump, close, release. You guys even able to see that, or am I blocking everything? Probably blocking everything. Zoom in a little. Let me try to get back here, maybe you'll be able to see. So, open, pump, close, release. Do it a couple more times. Open, pump, close, release. Open, pump, close, release. Open, pump, close, release. Let me add some fluid. A couple more times and we should be there. And in the process, you know, you're bleeding all the nasty fluid out of there. So, open, pump, close, release. Open, pump, close, release. Open, pump, close, release. One more time. That was a pretty good stream there. Open, pump, close. Make sure she's closed good. Release. Now, I don't think it's supposed to be shooting fluid back up this way. Let's get another drag. Let me get you guys, get this wiped up down here because there's nothing to protect the paint. And I don't want it ate off yet. Okay. I'll get you guys moved back up top. We'll install that cover back on, and then we'll see where we're at. See if our part's gonna work like it should. Try to get you set up. Hang tight. Uh-oh. I can't see what you're saying. Zoomed in, huh? Back it out a little bit. Alright, you're good enough. Let's slap this cover back on. Now remember, the writing is visible to the driver. You can see our fluid level. We're still 3/4 full. We'll install that. And we'll install this piece. I'm not sure what the technical terms are for these parts, but and then the cover. We'll put our screws back in there and we'll see where we're at. We may have to do some more bleeding, but that's all right. You can see the milling, when the milling was done and the hole was threaded for this screw over here, it was gone. It was crooked. So, is that a big deal? I don't think so. Only time will tell. Now, if we pump this, I got really good pressure. Really good. Feels great. Now, let's turn my attention over here to the. Oh. Can't even really turn it. Hang on. Oh, you know what? It's faster than four-wheel drive, so I'm not sure if that'll release while it's sitting here or not, but oh yeah, the brakes are working good. I like it. I like it a lot. You bet. Okay. Let me come back up in the air. We'll get you situated. We'll slap this tire back on and we'll give her a shot. Alrighty. Come up. Like we got all the brake fluid wiped up and contained. We grab this tire. Make sure you put your little dust cap back on or that'll fill up with boogers and it won't work right. We'll put this one back on. Alright. Nobody wants buggers in their brake system. Going's a lot of fun until you can't stop. Still need to find another lug nut for this. I might do today. Uh-oh. Okay. Looky here. Rotate, stop. Rotate, stop. Now this is working like a champ. Okay. Get situated and we'll look into the back one. How about that?